Something very interesting happened in December 2023. Usually the tag for India's fastest growing state was enjoyed by Karnataka, Gujarat or Tamil Nadu. But in December 2023, an unlikely candidate came and stole the show.
उत्तर प्रदेश ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट विकास का एक महाकुंभ है.
Uttar Pradesh, the largest state in India by population, has been emerging as an industrial powerhouse.
उत्तर प्रदेश $1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी भी बनेगा और देश की सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था भी बनेगा.
UP became the country's second fastest growing state. And what is more interesting is that UP has been attracting investments from all around the world. Samsung is building the world's largest phone factory in Noida. PepsiCo is setting up its largest greenfield food plant in Mathura. In 2017, UP was tagged as one of the 4 BIMARU states along with Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Rajasthan. But today, just 8 years later, it aspires to be India's first state to hit a GDP of $1 trillion by 2029, even before Maharashtra that expects it to happen by 2030. This would basically make UP the richest state by 2029. But this begs for a big question. How is this state that once struggled with its image suddenly growing so fast? Let us find out in this video. Welcome to another video of my channel and to our 13th economic case study, this time on the rise and transformation of Uttar Pradesh. American President John F. Kennedy once famously said that American roads are not good because America is rich, but America is rich because American roads are good. Or maybe it was the other way around, but I hope you get the idea. He made a very powerful point. Good infrastructure is the foundation of prosperity. There is a very big reason for it which we've also covered in various other videos on this channel. Good infrastructure means faster, better and cheaper logistics. And that is the foundation of economic growth, particularly for sectors like agriculture, mining and manufacturing. And this is exactly where the transformation of Uttar Pradesh begins. Back in 2017, the state only had 1 expressway. Today, it is the only state to have 13 expressways. At the same time, India's biggest airport and one of the world's biggest airports, the Jewar Airport, is also being built in Uttar Pradesh. Once completed, this project will not only reduce the air traffic burden on Delhi, but it will also turn Western UP into an international logistics hub. Other than Jewar as well, UP is also building other airports, and collectively this number is soon expected to be 21. Further, the state is also expanding urban transportation infrastructure. While earlier only Lucknow had a metro, today UP is planning metro rail projects in 12 cities including Kanpur, Agra, Meerut and Varanasi. This is not just urban beautification, it is urban transformation. This will prepare the state for the next wave of economic activity. But infrastructure alone does not attract investments. You also need rule of law, and this is one area that Uttar Pradesh really used to struggle with. The state was infamous for Gunda Raj, Mafia Raj, extortion, organized crime, political patronage and caste-based politics. This is where the encounter Raj comes in, which has totally changed the perception of law and order in the state. Hardcore criminals have either been arrested or eliminated. Properties worth thousands of crores owned by mafia families were seized and turned into public buildings, schools and hospitals. But here is the surprising part. Even though the situation with law and order has substantially improved in UP, there are still critics, especially because it is driven by encounter Raj. It is particularly the left-wing media, the opposition and its various supporters. If you really think about it, any region of the world that has really low crime rates usually also has zero tolerance towards crime. For instance, if you're caught stealing in Saudi Arabia, your hands are chopped off. That's literally the punishment for theft. Would you steal if the punishment was that harsh? Obviously not. And this is precisely why countries like Saudi Arabia and UAE have such little crime rate. Primarily because the punishment for crime is so harsh. There is absolutely zero tolerance towards crime. However, the second you do that, even with the most hardcore criminals in India, it's called controversial. In my opinion, the encounter Raj deserves sincere appreciation, and particularly for the way it has improved the situation with law and order in Uttar Pradesh. Anyway, as a result of the improvement in law and order and the infrastructure development, a lot of business activity has also started happening in Uttar Pradesh. Major companies across sectors like textile, electronics, warehousing and FMCG are setting up manufacturing and logistics bases in UP. One of the biggest reasons for this is the pro-business policies that have come up in Uttar Pradesh ever since CM Yogi Adityanath became the Chief Minister. They are doing now exactly what Gujarat did back in the days. And if you want to know what Gujarat did, I definitely encourage you to check out my video on the rise of Gujarat. Anyway, as a result of this pro-business policies, in financial year 2023 alone, UP attracted investment intents worth over 3 lakh crore rupees during the UP Global Investors Summit. Samsung is building the world's largest phone factory in Noida. PepsiCo is setting up its largest greenfield food plant in Mathura. Amazon and Flipkart expanded their warehousing operations in Lucknow and Ghaziabad. FMCG, textile, electronics and logistic companies are setting up their base across the state in cities like Kanpur and Gorakhpur. You get the idea. But that's not it. The UP government has also implemented a very favorable and innovative policy, which by the way has been gaining national and global attention. It is the One District, One Product scheme.
One District, One Product is an initiative which is seen as a transformational step.
Under Uttar Pradesh's One District, One Product scheme, each of the state's 75 districts focus on particular products such as Lucknow's chikankari embroidery or Firozabad's glassware. The initiative basically creates an ecosystem to support businesses in that segment around that particular area. For instance, in the case of the Barabanki district, the focus is going to be on textile. The entire business ecosystem around the place would be built around textile. You will have weaving facilities, different fabrics available, other raw materials, and finally factories to produce the final product. Interestingly, this is the same strategy that China used to scale up its manufacturing. It was called industrial cluster development. The UP government too has also successfully started implementing this scheme all across the state. The program won't just lead to state's economic growth and help it become a manufacturing hub, but it would also help with cultural preservation. Anyway, in addition to these three areas, which is infrastructure, law and order, and business development, UP has also done a lot of work in other social fronts. Over 2 crore homes have been electrified. Lakhs of kilometers of village roads have been built, and their skill development programs are estimated to have trained over 10 lakh youth in sectors like logistics, electronics, and healthcare. UP has also launched startup incubators in cities like Lucknow, Agra, and Prayagraj, basically taking the entire entrepreneurial ecosystem beyond just the metros. So indeed, it is a lot of great work. But that said, UP also has its fair share of challenges. Despite all this growth, UP continues to have one of the lowest GDP per capita in the entire country. Many districts still face problems in education, healthcare, and sanitation. And while law and order indeed has improved, there are also a lot of challenges like bureaucratic delays, corruption, and lack of coordination between different departments. But here's the difference. The state is not stagnant anymore. It's moving. It's investing and it's reforming. As a result of all of this, it is growing. The challenge now is going to be to sustain this growth and make this $1 trillion dream a reality and not just something on paper. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. As always, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon.